What's going on YouTube? Crypto Matrix here, coming at you with another cryptocurrency stream. And today we're going to be going over price action, Electroneum, and some news. Just the usual stuff, but a lot happened overnight. So I'm going to dive right into a bit of a red day, but it wasn't officially a red day at first. There was a big gain over the night, and let's dive into it. Check it out. So if you're watching my video yesterday, I made a call that it was going to go up either into this red box or have a breakdown into this green box, and it broke right up into the red box. So just awesome news. Let's look at it close up. So basically at around the $9,600 level from a $9,550 level, had a shoot up past the resistance here into the next resistance level, got all the way up to 10,425. I watched this happen, guys. I was sitting glued to my screen deciding whether to sell some HODL coin or not, and decided not to, and only sold some fast coin. So I'm back out of the market, waiting to get back in the market again for my fast moving coin, while my HODL coin remained HODLing. And I think that's just the way to go. You gotta really hold that HODL coin, even though when it's tempting to sell it sometimes just to get in a better position, you gotta hold it. So anyway, we had a Bart Simpson right here, and you can clearly see it looks like a Bart Simpson head. And the crash back down all the way down to 9,268. I watched a couple videos and I've seen some people say it's a little lower. I guess it really just depends on what exchange you're on, but in general, a big pump, a big dump, and it didn't last long. We're talking, hours here into the night, and by morning, at around 11 o'clock, it crashed again. So we're right back where we were, a little lower even than where we were. So exciting stuff, guys, all around. Now, what does that mean for the price action to come? Let's just look at the daily then. Or even the 4 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour first. So, in essence, all the way since, May, we've been putting in higher lows, moving up. Let's see the low. And a higher low here. There. There. So I'd say we're still in a bull trend, and as long as we're continuing to put in higher lows, that's a really good sign. So for the day traders out there accumulating those buys at the low, it's that's the perfect thing to do right there right now. It's not like a bear market where you're rolling the dice constantly, or even an accumulation phase where you're getting weird dips. This might just be up for a while. Now, in case of a bear market, these are the levels we're still testing. Now we'd have to come back down and test this this support right here, and if it punches through that, then we would see down into the 8s again. Now I don't think we're going to see into the 7s in the near future, but for instance, we had a 10% rise, a 10% dump. Imagine just a 20. That's exactly what that is. So it's that easy for it to go into, that kind of pump or dump, guys. That's what Bitcoin does. And I think that's why so many people like it as compared to the regular market. Just the moves, how much the percentages are. It's just very exciting. And if you're not used to it, it can make you sick. So yeah, that's what I think is going on for the price action. I want to talk a little bit about Electroneum. It's one of my favorites. It's just a very exciting coin to me. Right now at a market cap of 67 million, at just under a cent at 8.00852. And been in a very exciting month for Electroneum, and it's been up even more than that. If you look at the graph here, basically I got in, in a right there, right there, and then again down here. And from down here, we're talking an 8x all the way up to a cent. From 1.9 to 1 cent. That is just amazing, guys. And that's just the beginning of the iceberg. This coin is so long overdue for something real. The last bull market it hit 24 cents, and it didn't stay there long, obviously. But in reality, with the project that is behind Electroneum, it's just so good. They just recently hit 300,000 mobile miners and cut off the mobile mining to start their phase 2. And I've been mobile mining the whole time. It's just it was a really great giveaway. And there was all these projections that it would last for, a million users or something. And I'm like, well, then the coin would never hit $1. It would just be worth nothing. So I knew that it was going to get cut off at some point sooner than that. I just didn't know when. And turned out it was 300,000 users. So with their mobile miner not on and phase 2 in effect, I think the guy's name is Chris Ellis. He's the founder of Electroneum, and he does talks online all the time. He's just a good guy, and he's really working the project well and in a good direction. And I really do believe you'll see an Electroneum of $1 someday. It's just a matter of time, and I hope it happens sooner than later, but it could happen in the next 5 to 10 years easily. And I'm really hoping that the next bull run, Electroneum has a big run with that as well as with all the other altcoins. I think when the bull market happens, and like that being said, I think it's happening right now. I think it's just very slow accumulating right now in the sense of just building up for this big run, and it has to have a good base for the strength to be proper. As we just saw, it just rose up, crashed down. It only lasted a night at above 10,000. And if we're talking, even just 20,000's matching all-time highs again, it's going to have some good base for it to actually get there. And, the volume has to be right as well. So Electroneum, a good call, guys. And as long as it's putting in higher lows and remaining sideways, to me, it looks like a bull flag right here. Just looks good. Other than that, news, crypto could save millennials from the economy that failed them. And I believe in this as well. Basically, the young people have really had it rough in the last 20 years with all the financial crisis, the 9/11 attacks, COVID-19, all these things that have really stopped younger people from getting ahead. It's finally catching up with people, and I think if you're not in Bitcoin, it's just a silly thing because it has so much potential. And I just want to reread some of this stuff for you guys. In a seminal blog post by Blockchain Capital, Bitcoin was described as a demographic megatrend, and while new technology tends to follow a path of diffusion from younger to older generations, there is another thing driving crypto adoption among millennials: that fiat-based economy has failed them. An online Harris poll conducted in April 2019 found that people aged 18 to 34 were 3 times as likely to be familiar with Bitcoin as those over 65, and twice as likely as those aged 50 to 64. They outgunned all age groups in terms of familiarity. And there's the graph right there, guys. Basically, the younger you are, the more you've, are knowing about Bitcoin and understanding what it's really for. And not only that, but this really has been the toughest uphill climb in history, guys, and more on that right here. Millennials are a generation that has been shaped by recessionary forces, with employment levels since the COVID-19 pandemic now falling back to levels of the year 2000. And they were horrible. They're horrible. Millennials, having already been through a post-9/11 recession and yet another following the 2008 global financial crisis, now face yet another episode of what the Washington Post has identified as a slower economic growth since entering the workforce than any other generation in U.S. history. So it really behooves young people to have Bitcoin right now. It's just a good a good fund to have. It's, you know, it's going places, and it's still in its infancy stage compared to everything else. Even take gold, for instance, just the caps on those are just widely vast. And you know, Bitcoin, I really believe it's still in its infancy, even though, you know, we're just under $10,000 here at $9,400. It's still gonna surprise everyone and go to these new all-time highs, and then you're gonna be looking back and wishing you bought more at this rate, and that's just the way it's gonna go. So don't be fooled. Collect your bags while you can, and be prepared for the upcoming bull market, because it is here. It is definitely here. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and be kind to one another. So much going on in the world right now. It is just insane. I sometimes I can't even watch the internet right now. There's just so much crap going on. It's sick. So just take care of one another, be kind to one another, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.